Hey, this is Andy with Superfly Bonsai. I just got back from vacation. I took a bunch of my trees over to a local nursery, Nature's Way, for them to keep an eye on it while I was gone, which I do every year. Basically, I took a full SUV load, but some of them I left behind to be automatically watered through a sprinkler system that was automatically set up to water the trees. So let's take a look at how it did. So this sprinkler setup over here is basically fed from a main faucet, which is probably about 30 feet away. And here was the connector to the main faucet. Let's take a look here. This right here connected to the main faucet. This went to my vegetable garden, and this went over here to the bonsai area. But while I was on vacation sometime, this piece right here, right up and through this area, sprung a leak. Now I don't know how much water I lost, it was probably quite a bit, but here's what I think happened. Because that sprung a leak, it decreased the pressure that came to my automatic misters, and I also had some sprinklers set up. One was right there. As you can see, it goes around. And there's another, that's a mister. Then it went up and there was a mister there and up to another sprinkler that was about 7 feet off the ground. And that was to water quite a few trees. And there's more over there in the shade. And like I said, this is how I had it set up several years. Never had any problems until this year. A few things I noticed when I got back this year. Now this year, the temperatures were in the 90s while I was gone, with like no rain, so it was a pretty rough year. This one right here was directly next to this mister, and I was actually surprised at this. I put it there so that it would be a little healthier. Let me get over here in the shade. I put it there so it would be a little more healthier and more likely to make it through. And then we have one down here. Look at the difference. These looked exactly the same when I left for vacation. Now I know a lot of times they say that it takes a long period of time for junipers to die, but these were brought in the same time, and it's not just one or two. It's basically all of them. So let's take a look. This one was sitting up here, and then we also have down here. You can see I have probably 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, probably about 12 other ones. And the reason that you notice that these right here are green and these over here are brown, I think, is because I have a smaller misting system right here for my Itoya Gala cuttings and some Lemon Hill cuttings I have over here that I'm trying to keep alive. So that was misting on a pretty regular basis. Hopefully it doesn't hit us while I'm standing here. So I think that mister hit all the ones in this area and wasn't strong enough to hit the ones in this area, and when it was 90 degrees out, it just burned them out. And I'm going to guess these trees are dead. It's kind of hard to say. They're not looking too good. I wouldn't expect them to make it. I mean, most of these will be okay. This one's probably not going to make it, although that one looks better than this one, and what's over here. So, if your tree ever looks like this, it's pretty much done. It's starting to get crispy. Like I said, this happened in a week. It was pretty amazing. Okay, and I think basically, because that sprung a leak, lost water pressure through this, primarily because this is about 8 feet up. I don't think things over here got watered quite as well as they should. Here I have a holly. It looks like it might have got a little dry. I'm pretty sure that'll probably be okay. Let's see if we can get over here. And here, this is Bane. He really cares about one thing: frisbees. There's the frisbee. If there's no frisbee, he likes balls. If there's no balls, he likes bones. And if there's no frisbee, balls, or bones, he spends his time looking for a frisbee, ball, or bone. That's about all he does. Alright, so let's take a look at a few other trees over here. There's another juniper that looks like it didn't quite make it. The ones that were back here in the shade a little more look like they were pretty happy. Most of the shimpaku look like they're fine, probably because they're in a different type of soil, which kind of surprised me because these actually come in from Florida. I'm surprised they dried out so easily. They must really water them a lot down in Florida. Back there, those shimpaku all look like they're pretty much okay. That one looks like it's alright. Now this guy right here, he was perfectly fine when I left. I know for a fact he didn't get watered good enough. I'm pretty sure that one's a goner. This hinoki back here looks a little crispier than it should. I'm not sure how that's going to end up. San Jose juniper. looks very unhappy. There are some parts that look alive. I think I'm going to lose the whole apex of this tree, most likely. I think some of the branches will probably be okay, but I'll tell you what, this weed sprouted up just fine in that week with a lack of water. It doesn't seem like it had much of a problem. And very oddly, I have a larch back there that was in full sun, and that's a Canadian larch. Actually, that's not a Canadian larch. These down here, that's Canadian larch. It comes from up in Canada, so it's not really used to the heat. I'm surprised it looks as good as it did. And everything pretty much up here on the bench, I don't know if it's because it was close to the water, it all looks pretty much okay. This Itoya Gawa here, this has some brown spots on it, but that was just recently styled, and I think that it might just be some limbs dying from the styling, because the rest of the branches all look fine. And like I said, for the most part, the rest of them worked out pretty well. So I will know for future years that I probably should just pay somebody to come over and water my trees instead of taking a chance. Maybe find a friend or something like that. If you're thinking about trying to set up a automatic sprinkler system, even if you do a good job setting it up, it could fail for some reason and could cause you problems. And luckily none of my good trees were here. They're all away getting taken care of, or I would probably be pretty upset. So just letting you know, if you're ever thinking about an automatic sprinkler system, you might want to think twice. All right, have a good day. Thank you.